Yes, I'm finally back. No, I didn't go broke. No, I didn't find out about some fundamental reason why cryptocurrency is gonna go to zero. No, none of that. You guys know I've been in a mood, but I'm finally here to talk about the top three altcoins for the next couple of months, okay? I would show you a tour of my new office and my new space that you see right here, but it's a little bit dirty. We still haven't completely moved in. So I'm gonna be talking about these coins, exactly why they could potentially blow up in the next couple of months, what they've been doing that's so innovative, and exactly why I've been personally investing into these coins right now, as of today, as of the day that you're watching this video. So keep watching. All right, I'm gonna come over here because this is the main angle. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, back to what I do best. Sorry for the delay, guys. Obviously, I was being held up by a centralized organization that basically didn't want me to move in. I was stuck in limbo for about 2 weeks. So I was basically out of the game for like the past 20 days or probably a little bit more than that. So now I'm back. We're like halfway moved in to my new spot. This is my new office. It's beautiful. I love everything that's going on. I will do an update video, just kind of walking through and showing exactly, you know, my area and everything like that. Some type of like MTV cribs or something like that. Maybe it would, probably not. But today's the day. I have to get straight to the money. I had to make the background look pretty. And everything else look, you know, just throw everything else over there because I'm doing what I do best. Today, we're gonna get straight to the money. Today, we're gonna be talking about the top three altcoins for cryptocurrency success, altcoins that I'm currently investing in that I thought have massive potential, massive upside gain. Remember, the altcoins I pick, typically I don't buy an altcoin unless there's a potential to outcompete Ethereum and Bitcoin. Otherwise, it would be much smarter to hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's usually what I do. So we're gonna be talking about that in this video. I'm gonna be diving into all the details like I usually do. And if you are new to this channel, well, guess what? This is a new generation of videos. The quality is gonna increase. So do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell so you get videos like this all the time. This content is time sensitive. Sometimes I will drop a video and the project will be out for like 3 hours. So hit that notification bell, put on all notifications so you guys can get the content first. Remember, all of it's free. So do me a favor, support the channel by hitting that like button, of course. Smash it, just don't hit it, smash, punch your computer. Just kidding, but let's jump into the actual video, the content, right? So the first thing I always show people in every single one of my videos is a classic style. If anybody's talking about altcoins and they don't frame it with this right here, they're doing you a disservice. I believe that everybody should know of this and research this chart multiple times. So the only reason we invest in altcoins, which is alternative to Bitcoin. Now, I don't consider Ethereum a complete altcoin. It is an altcoin, but it's not like, it's pretty much solidified. It's fairly safe. Okay, so everything other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, I consider like a serious altcoin, and this is what we're talking about here. If you're investing in altcoins, just remember the sole purpose of investing in altcoins is to outcompete Bitcoin. So if it does not outcompete Bitcoin, don't invest in it. And most of these projects will not over time. So this is a data science model that basically shows you every single altcoin in comparison to the black line, which is Bitcoin, right? So what we do is we use the altcoins to, you can see here at the top, sometimes they'll outcompete for a small period of time. The percentage gain on these altcoins will be far better than just holding Bitcoin. So in that case, we use that to capitalize profits, and it's called cycle trading. We cycle trade our profits into, you know, Bitcoin so we can accumulate more Bitcoin. And if you do want to learn a little bit more about cycle trading and how I've 127x my investment in like 308 days, and how I've been able to replicate it for other people, go ahead to the website below, like always, fundamentalsecrets.com. I'm actually having my coaches doing consultation calls, setting people up with investment strategies. So go ahead and definitely apply. It's not open to the public yet. We actually plan on launching open to the public where everybody can just jump on the website and do what they want, probably by the end of the month. So right now we're doing the consultation call. So take advantage of that now. They set you up with an investment strategy. So again, go to the link below. I'm done shilling my stuff. That's my stuff. Okay, I do that so I don't have to show other people's stuff. Just remember that, guys. So the first thing I want to show you guys, this is a total market cap of cryptocurrency. All right, this is basically all the money, the total value of with all the cryptocurrencies. If you combine them together, what are they worth? This is the total market cap. So the thing I really want to show you is that we've basically been hitting off of this resistance for quite some time, ever since like 2017. This has been a major area of resistance that we haven't been able to break through. As you can see here, we're currently in a climate where we have the potential to do that. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times where we haven't been able to break through it. So there's a potential that we can, I don't want to say it because it might not happen, but potentially start the bull run. We could be there. I mean, Bitcoin's above $13,000. I mean, I didn't think I was going to see that for like 6 months. So we're in really good territory right now. So I want you guys to keep in mind that a lot of the prediction methods I'm using is piggybacking off the fact that we potentially might be going in a bull run very soon. Another thing I want to show you, at the same time, Bitcoin is, pretty much doing really well. The actual dollar, this is the US dollar currency index, is basically calculates the value of the dollar in comparison to others. So as you can see here, we've just been going on a steady decline. Now, I actually literally called this in one of my other videos. You can go watch my other videos. I literally called the fact that, the US dollar is going to decrease in value. And you can see here, it's been just a straight path down. There's lower lows and lower highs. So this is just a straight path down. There's nothing worse than this. And the reason why this is relevant is because the US dollar, the worse it does, the more scared people get. They look for commodities and assets that are asymmetrical, that are basically, that have the potential, like gold, to do well when traditional finance, a traditional US dollar does bad, right? That's the whole point. So this is just looking kind of bullish for cryptocurrency. The fact that it probably has to do with a lot of the liquidity crunches and them printing money and stimulus checks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're just printing ridiculous amounts of money. People are getting scared. This kind of leads to stuff like this, right? So Bitcoin poised for the second highest monthly close ever. So literally, there's a chance that we can the amount of gains we made this month might be the second highest ever. And it's because, and he said it in the comment section, I don't have it here, but he basically said it's because institutional investors are playing the game right now. This is what's happening, guys. There's like some tweets that were going out with the Rothschilds buying Bitcoin, like $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Peter Thiel. There's a lot of Fidelity Investments predicted the Bitcoin to be $1 million. So there's a lot of people that are basically on the Bitcoin bandwagon. And it looks like medium-sized hedge funds and institutions are getting involved with this playing field. So just understand, guys, this bull run will be at a magnitude greater than the last one. So the money-making potential is a little bit less than before. I mean, if you're using our strategies, the money-making potential is actually a lot easier. It's easier to trade in this climate than it was in 2017. I would say that because the law of diminishing returns, as there's more money flooding into the market, there's less volatility. So it's a little bit more predictable. But I would say that, it's a lot easier to trade and outcompete Bitcoin and Ethereum in this climate, in my opinion, or at least that's what we've been doing. We're like 420% year to date when it comes to my portfolio. So just understand a lot of it has to do with Bitcoin. So this is why we look at Bitcoin. This is why before we jumped into the altcoins, I decided to look at Bitcoin. I was just explain that to you guys. And people are like, why are you talking about Bitcoin? We should be talking about altcoins. So that's why. This is why I'm talking about Bitcoin. So if we come over here, just one thing I wanted to quickly show you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm not going to dive too deep into it. But as other currencies in the world start falling, I have said this time and time again, it's almost like all of these tweets and all this new news coming out are predicting or confirming my prediction. Sorry. It's confirming my prediction that the United States world currencies are going to start devaluing themselves to try to basically make it through this economic turmoil. So they're doing everything in their power. They're printing as much money as possible, and the currency is losing value. So as you can see here, countries where Bitcoin has hit an all-time high in their local currency. Basically, Bitcoin's doing really well while these countries have been doing really bad. And I've actually personally talked to some people in not Venezuela. Yeah, it was Argentina. I'm sorry. Specifically, people in my course in Argentina that they can't even go buy $200 worth of United States dollars. It's technically illegal for them to purchase more than $200 worth of the United States dollars because they're actually Argentinian peso is being actively deflated. Like it's just basically being printed into oblivion. So, and it's crazy that they force them to hold the currency. It's almost like they're enslaving you and they're forcing you to be enslaved. So just be careful for people across the world. This is a new, investment, a whole new market, guys. It's not controlled by any one government. And this is the value proposition, the essential value proposition of cryptocurrency. So yeah, Bitcoin's doing good. That's the long version of me saying that. Bitcoin's doing pretty good right now. So in making room for altcoins, as Bitcoin drives up, there's a potential for the altcoins to follow. We see that today Ethereum was doing a lot better than Bitcoin, so that's a representation of that. And we're gonna just jump into the altcoins now. So I'm gonna be talking about these. Some of these I've already talked about, some of them I haven't. It's gonna basically be, when it comes to risk, the safest ones. Now, I don't wanna say safe. I would just say risk profile is more like the ones that I like the most are going to come a little bit first, and then the riskier ones are going to come towards the end. And then I'm actually going to talk about like a super safe investment vehicle if you're not into volatility and risk towards the end. We'll talk about that. That I think is really interesting for a lot of people that don't want to get too deep into this DeFi or the blockchain economy and stuff like that. They could just invest into something like this. So we'll talk about that. Now, the first thing, I've already talked about it. Now it has massive upside potential, guys. It's $13,000. At one point, it was like $42,000. So we're about a 3 to 4x from its recent all-time high. It just came out. Now, you guys know the classic style of my videos. I'm going to be talking about the actual project, right? The product, like what does it do? And I'm going to be rating it how good they are. Marketing and team. Okay. Now there's obviously so many more variables to research. If you don't know how to research, guys, again, get with one of my coaches. They're going to explain to you a whole entire investment strategy and break it down for you. But there's a lot of variables. There's like over 100 different variables that people need to look at before they can isolate a cryptocurrency in a basket of investments. So like, for example, some people are comparing cryptocurrencies that don't even have to do with each other. So just a heads up, guys, make sure if you're researching a cryptocurrency and you're comparing them to one another, that you compare them to the same ecosystem. So you can't just be like, oh, there's an idea that you like. Oh, I like this gaming coin, and then buy it without comparing it to other gaming coins. Just understand that. But another thing that people make a mistake on with altcoins specifically is that, they either go too risky. They're buying coins that are just the market cap's way too small. There's not a lot of people in this coin. It has massive upside potential, but the risk of it going to zero is way higher. So you got to find the balance, right? And then some people invest in coins that are just way too high on coin market cap. So like they have just too much money invested into it and the ship has already sailed. You need to find the medium, okay? And this is how you really make money because, of course, there's all these people on the internet, the top 3 altcoins and then top 100x or 1000x altcoins, and they're picking these super low market cap altcoins, and then you see them pump to like 400%. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're right. But you have to understand that most of them cannot capitalize on that 400%, right? The emotions get involved. And the beauty about finding that sweet spot when it comes to market cap is that you can hold these coins for a long time without really feeling too bad about it because these coins are pretty much solidified, as well as they have the upside potential so you can make and actually realize these gains, right? The whole point is not to just make 400%. The whole point is to actually realize the gains, cash it out and pay your bills. This is where I try to differentiate myself from other YouTubers. My goal is to actually make you money. If you appreciate that, smash that like button. I would appreciate that too. But seriously, guys, this channel, I want to break it down as entrepreneurship, actually to become financially independent, cash flow strategies. I'm not just talking about investment vehicles like cryptocurrency. I'm talking about cash flow strategies as well. And if you haven't seen that before, go ahead and watch my other videos. Of course, the mindset too, everything plays in one another. I can't just make a channel just about cryptocurrency because it's just not true to life. Right. And I want you guys to, okay, I'm rambling. Let me just jump into Yearn Finance. So Yearn Finance, revolutionary new project, first of its kind, robo-advising arbitrage thing that I'm going to explain to you. Now, this is not going to be a video of me explaining every little intricate detail about Yearn Finance. Just understand that there was a little controversy of what's going on with Yearn Finance and the owners and stuff like that and the creator, Andre. But the whole point is to find the projects that are down and have the ability to recover. So if anything, to me, it was like a green light because it divided by a lot. As you can see here, is $40,000. So the potential for it to go back to 40,000 is high if they can pull it off. And we're going to talk about the team. The team's Andre's strong, right? He's very good at what he does, and he's been very, very genius. And this DeFi, he's been putting out crazy products. And again, like I said, he's first of its kind. So upside potential is there. We can go back to 40K, 42K. It could even go, I believe, way higher than that, to be honest. I think it can go to 100K eventually. And that's just the truth, in my opinion. I can't give you a time frame on that. But the reason why I say that is because the supply is only 30,000. Let me say it again. The supply is only 30,000. Okay, so understand that, for example, Bitcoin supply is 21 million. So the scarcity factor is extreme in this case. It's extreme in this case. And that's why the volatility is there. So if I know, of course, guys, I always tell you to do your own research. None of this is financial advice. None of it. This is just me talking about my opinions on the internet. But I will say that this is going to be a very volatile coin. If you are going to invest in Yearn Finance, it has the ability to lose 90% in a day, but it also has the ability to gain 5,000% in a couple of weeks, right? So just understand that the low supply will make it very volatile, and it's supposed to have no inherent value. The way that he launched it, this is just a governance token. But obviously people speculate, and obviously some of these guys are holding it for the governance protocol, right? So what governance means is this token, if you hold it, you have the ability to vote for different proposals to change the system. This is open source and decentralized. Nobody really owns it. Obviously there's a coder and guy that runs it and puts in the majority of the proposals, but people vote on those, right? So it's really cool. It's just some really, really cool stuff, right? So what is Yearn Finance? They have they have a whole bunch of products, right? And basically the products solve problems in the DeFi industry. And what you do is basically you provide liquidity to this protocol, this smart contract. It's a smart contract. You provide liquidity and they use your money to solve problems amongst DeFi. That's the simplest way I can explain it. And solving these problems, people use it, right? And they generate profits, which are capitalized by Yearn Finance token. The actual token, it gains in profit as the products are being used. So are the products good, right? So the first one, vaults, right? Capital pools that automatically generate yield based on opportunities present in the market. So you can put your money in a vault. And the cool part about the vault, I think, is really cool. If you put money in the vault here, let me just show you guys an example of my vault here. So I have some money in the DAI pool. I plan on putting a lot more. I have some money in the DAI vault, not the pool. This is different. This is a vault. And it's about 40% APY, which is absolutely ridiculous considering DAI is a stable coin. So there's no volatility in DAI at all. It's basically free money, passive income for me. I've talked about this in other videos. I also have it in the Curve.fi LP pool. And that's generating about 50%. And this is technically a smart stable coin. So this is a stable coin as well. And it's giving me about 50% APY. Now this fluctuates, right? Depending on how many people use the protocol, the APY always fluctuates. Understand that. So sometimes it can go down to 10, sometimes it can go up to 100%. Or yeah, 100% APY per year. Average percentage yield, right? So basically what I want to show you guys is some of the products. The first thing is the vaults, right? Talked about the vaults. Basically they find arbitraging opportunities in the market and they take your money, and they basically, vaults benefit users by socializing gas costs, automating yield generation and rebalancing process, and automatically shifting capital as opportunities arise. So it's really cool because you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to know anything about DeFi to basically farm. Now the second part, this is like the first earn product, which is the Yearn product, which is earn, sorry. This is a lending aggregator. Funds shifted between Aave, Compound, automatically interest rates. It basically finds the highest interest rate, allocates the funds there, and you get the profits, right? This is obviously a product someone probably want to use. This is why Wi-Fi is able to generate revenue, so the actual coin itself will increase in profits. Now, another one, Zap. I'm not going to go over it too much, but Zap is basically a way to get out of liquidity pools, zap your way out. And if you're in DeFi and you understand how yield farming is, it's very expensive. Gas costs can be crazy, so you can zap your way out of liquidity pools into another liquidity pool without having to pay like 4 different fees, right? So that's a really good product. And then they're coming out obviously with insurance so that you can insure smart contracts just in case there's a vulnerability or a hack. People can actually get their money back, like Nexus Mutual, et cetera, et cetera. Again, the governance token is YFI, so it's not supposed to have any inherent value, but people again speculate because, you know, as these tokens are distributed amongst the people through farming and different methods, it just increases in value because people want to hold it and make changes to the protocol. They can make a change like, hey, pay me Wi-Fi. They can make a change to increase the amount of fees that they take for their suite of products, right? There's a lot of different things you could do with the governance protocol. So proposals that meet quorum requirements, less than 20% of the token stake in the governance contract can generate the majority of the support. Basically talking about how much vote needs to be generated for the actual proposal to go through. So that's Wi-Fi. That's a kind of a brief understanding of what it is. You can see how it's basically revolutionary because it's basically robo-advising. It's like an automatic hedge fund, a decentralized hedge fund that does the work for you and aggregates the money in the places that are most profitable amongst the blockchain. And you don't really have to lift a finger and you just kind of get the profit. So just understand, I think it's very worth it I think it's very, very worth it for people to invest into YFI, not only in the protocol itself, but also buying a token. This is one of my top picks, guys. Again, the low supply is absolutely ridiculous. If it goes to 100K a coin, I will not be surprised at all. So Yearn Finance has been recently getting a lot of traction on Google Trends, as you can see here when we're going into marketing, as well as they've been getting ridiculous traffic. So I want you to remember this number, 107 million total visits. I want you to remember that number because it's going to become relevant in the future. I'll explain what I'm talking about. On DeFi Pulse, they have been able to capture Yearn Finance, the number 9 spot. So the beauty of this is that, one, it has a low, very, very low supply, and it's still number 9 when it comes to all the DeFi protocols. So it has room to move up. Okay, this is what you want to look for. You don't want to just buy, not all the time. It just depends on what it is, but you don't want to just buy a coin that's already at the top, right? It just depends, but you guys get what I'm saying. The growth potential is there on the short term and the long term, right? Because of the long term would be cryptocurrency market growing in general, right? That would be the long term thing. And then the short term would be, Yearn Finance takes off and starts beating these protocols amongst the community that's already here. So it has upside the potential of both. And that's the beauty, in my opinion, of Yearn Finance as an investment vehicle right now, at least for me. Okay, now, to the team, Andre, he's basically the only person. Now, obviously, this is a decentralized protocol, so there's a community of people that help him and push him in the right direction. Excuse me, that's my dog. Back to the video. But yeah, Andre has been able to make a ridiculous amount of products, as you can see there, and monetize it with this one coin all by himself. There's times where he will launch, like somebody would give him an idea and he will launch it like the next day. He's very, very good at what he does. And in my opinion, he has all the qualities of a CEO that's not willing to waver in his quality when it comes to security of the contracts, but also he's very rapid moving and he's able to change and adapt very quickly from what I understand. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy, but from what I've seen so far and what I know, very good CEO, and he's been able to produce over and over again. So I definitely think you guys should be looking and researching into Yearn Finance for yourself. Make your own decisions, of course. Next protocol, okay? I haven't talked about this one before on my YouTube channel, Aave, okay? Now I want to explain a little bit of history about Aave. They used to be called Lend. There was a token that you can get Lend. It was the same thing as what Yearn Finance. It was a governance protocol, right? It's a governance token. Sorry, not governance protocol. It was a governance token that you can use for the protocol. Now, what does this protocol do? Aave is a decentralized, non-custodial money market protocol where users could participate as depositors or liquidity providers or borrowers. Depositors provide liquidity to the market to earn passive income, kind of similar to Yearn Finance, while borrowers are able to borrow over collateralized in perpetuity to or under collateralized one block. It's very, very complicated wording there, but basically what they're saying is that they actually have a fixed rate, which is beautiful. So if you're basically borrowing money, you can put a fixed rate on how much fee that you pay or the other way around. So if you're giving them money, there's a fixed rate, or you could do variable interest, which is it goes with the market. So if more people use the protocol, the variable interest rate will change higher or lower depending. But the beauty is that it's predictable, right? And that's what cryptocurrency needs. We need predictability. So they could say, hey, give us Bitcoin, and the fixed rate is 5% a year. We're going to guarantee you 5% a year, and that will not change. And that's the beauty of Aave. Now, they've been able to rapidly adapt. The Compound was like one of the first, but they actually basically out-competed them, as you can see on DeFi Pulse. More people are invested in Aave than Compound right now, and Compound was bigger. They had the first mover advantage. Compound had the first mover advantage, so they obviously know how to rapidly develop, and I think that's a really good quality of the Aave team. I'm not going to go into the actual product. You guys can look it up for yourself, but basically, again, you can lend money out and you can borrow money. You can do flash loans. It's a money-making market, right? As you can see here, this is the flash paper. I want to talk about some things. So the total supply of Aave is 16 million tokens. Now, the beauty of that is that it's pretty relatively, it's not like 30,000, like Wi-Fi, but, Bitcoin is 21 million. So anything around that is good in my opinion. Now, a lot of them have been redeemed by people that already hold the Lend token. And so they basically did a huge migration. Lend was the original governance token and they migrated it over to Aave. So it's basically the same thing. If you see it like online, I just want you guys to be careful. I'm buying the Aave token, not the Lend token, because it's like the new one, right? As you can see here, 100 Lend tokens equal one Aave. It's a far lower supply. And it's the one they're going to be using. So why buy the old one, right? Now, the cost of the service, just to give you guys some heads up, is 0.00001% of the loan amount. Somebody takes out a loan. That's the cash flow revenues that go into the token. It's kind of similar to Yearn Finance. And the fact that the product that they created takes fees. The fees are allocated to the token holder. Of this fee, 20% is used for referral integrators, 80% is swapped to Lend token and burned from Flash loans. So it's deflationary. From Flash loans, 0.09% is collected from the loan amount. 70% is redirected to extra income for depositors of the protocol, and 30% is split up using the same 20-80% model of the origination fee. And then there's also transaction fees. So as people, basically the jumbo lingo there is basically the people that use this blockchain generate fees. So if you use this product yourself, it's going to generate fee. You're going to pay them, and the fees are paid to the actual token, which is Aave right now because they migrated over. Okay, so remember the $1 million website visits. Look, 432,000. That's about half the website visits. And if you go back to here, look, Aave is number 5. Yearn Finance is number 9. So Yearn Finance is getting double the amount of website visits, but they're basically almost halfway down. They're number 9 versus number 5. So understand that there's upside potential for Yearn Finance. There's a reason why I'm doing this. But Aave itself is still good. Like Aave, in my opinion, anything on the top 10 is going to make you money because, again, like I told you, you want to capitalize on the short term and the long term. So the long term, they're all going to capitalize, right? Everything I'm talking about is fairly safe, and the protocol will do well as long as DeFi does well. And we know institutional investors are getting into cryptocurrency, and DeFi, decentralized finance, is becoming more and more relevant because almost every use case in crypto is just simply let's make money. That's usually every single use case. If you're in cryptocurrency, most likely the only reason you're watching this video right now is because I'm pretty beautiful. Not that, but most likely because you're making money, right? So people are in it to make money. The use case is probably going to be money products. It's just as simple as that. So yeah, again, Aave done pretty well. Money-making market, it's pretty much needed throughout all cryptocurrency. DeFi would be possible, but they hold up a large pillar of DeFi for sure. Now for the last coin, it's probably the riskiest pick I have here. And I know I said, I don't pick number 1, but in this case I would because they just launched their token. So basically Uniswap, Uni is my last pick. They just launched. If you guys don't know of the historic launch, they basically gave away 400, a minimum. They gave more to other people, but a minimum of 400 tokens, which was equivalent to like $1,200. I actually even got up to like $7. What was the height here? The height was, $7. So that was like almost $3,000 for free for anybody that used their protocol. So if you provided liquidity, if you swapped some tokens, you literally got randomly airdropped these valuable coins. Because again, let's go back over here. Uniswap is the #1 decentralized exchange. So they're a decentralized exchange. Now, the risky part about this investment is that we don't know where the price could potentially go because it's so brand new. And I see it all over the internet. I just want to, on a side talk, if anybody's doing technical analysis on a project that's less than a year old, they're wasting your time. And it's just entertainment at that point because it's irrelevant on all areas, and anyone can come at me with that one. Definitely come at me with that one. I don't like seeing people doing TA on because it's just it's so wrong. Stop doing that. Just stop doing that. But Uniswap is basically a huge decentralized exchange. So usually people have to go to Coinbase, Binance to swap their tokens out, and they have a third-party intermediary. They have a person that says, hey, yes, you can swap these coins, right? And they put people through a process. So maybe you've done it before. It's called KYC, Know Your Customer, where they basically get your identification to make sure you're not money laundering or whatever the case is, or just to make sure that you're in a country that allows cryptocurrency, because there's a lot of places that don't, like New York doesn't allow cryptocurrency, but the United States as a whole does. It allows cryptocurrency, but there's a lot of coins you can't get. So this is where this comes in play, because it's something called permissionless, which is the origination of, in my opinion, why cryptocurrency is so valuable in the first place. Remember, we talked about Bitcoin. People get into Bitcoin because they're scared of the US dollar, right? Bitcoin is permissionless across all borders, right? No matter if they ban it or not, people can still get access to it all over the world. So this is the same thing. It's basically an exchange where you can swap tokens no matter who you are across the world. It does not matter who you are between any individual and get the end coin that you want. So let's say you want to swap Ethereum for, I don't know, Wi-Fi. You can do that. You can swap it here without having to go through a third-party intermediary. You can go through just the exchange, and it does it automatically, and there's no human involved. It's literally has to happen if you do it. That's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of it. Now, Uniswap, again, is number one. It's the biggest, right? When it comes to total value locked, right? How much money is locked up into the contract, because people provide liquidity to Uniswap. For them to be able to swap tokens, if you provide liquidity, if you give them the actual token. So let's say hypothetically, you wanted to swap Ethereum to Wi-Fi. Well, for that to happen, for there to be a service they can offer to people, there has to already be Ethereum and Wi-Fi in the protocol ready to swap. So when you click that button, they just take your Ethereum, they give you the Wi-Fi, right, automatically, right? And then they go buy Wi-Fi with the other Ethereum and then replenish the supply of Wi-Fi, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But just understand there needs to be liquidity for this to work. So if you provide liquidity, you can get actually percentages for that, just like any of the protocols we've been talking about. So Uniswap, the biggest one. This one, I'm not looking to make money on the short term. This is a long-term play for me because Uniswap has, again, it's just the biggest out of any decentralized exchange. And the fact that we even have something this big and permissionless is mind-blowing, okay? Anyone in the world can get any cryptocurrency they want now, and they don't have to get a VPN and have the risk of losing their funds on an exchange. So the use case for this is exponential. And my goal is to capitalize on this one for the long run. Okay, so as Bitcoin becomes more adopted, there's a hopes that people are going to migrate to DeFi and it's going to do better, and so is the decentralized exchange. Now, a couple of points I wanted to make that I highlighted: 60% of the Uni Genesis supply, so the supply they actually had. Remember, this was a decentralized exchange with no token for the longest time, and then they just recently gave out the token through an airdrop and through right here. The supply is allocated to Uniswap community members, a quarter of which 15% of the total supply has already been distributed to the past users. So this is what I meant by the 400 UD. They actually potentially, I don't know, I heard rumors that they might actually do another version 3 airdrop, right? So just keep that in mind. The beauty of this, in just 2 years, they supported over $20 billion worth of volume when it comes to trades. And it was traded over 250,000 unique addresses, right? That's crazy. Secured over $1 billion worth of liquidity. So $1 billion were deposited into this contract with 449,000 unique liquidity providers. And they earned $56 million, guys, in fees. So all these people got paid for providing liquidity to Uniswap. I think that's beautiful. The allocation. So 60% of the Uniswap community members, that goes to the community members, 21% goes to the team members, 18% goes to investors for your vesting. So they don't just dump it on the market. And 0.69 goes to advisors. So that's basically how it's allocated. And 60% came to us, right? Now, a perpetual inflation rate of 2% a year, that's about the US dollar. So as they drop these coins and start giving them to people through mining and liquidity, it's through a 2% inflation rate, which is really good because it's basically standard. Gold's about 2%, and so is the United States dollar. And there's just one thing I also wanted to talk about. So if you do have access to the governance token like Uniswap, you can participate in the governance, the treasury, the protocol fee switch. So you can actually change the fee structure. That's the beauty of these governance protocols. If enough people vote, you can pay yourself more fees. I guess the actual name, the ENS name, you own a portion of that on the Uniswap default list, which I have no idea what that is. Maybe I'll learn about that later. But yeah, guys, the governance tokens are cool. It's really interesting. Now, before we end this video, I do want to talk about one other investment. And before that, I want to explain the actual risk of governance tokens. So governance tokens are basically these credit. It's a way to get past the regulation of ICOs. If you were in cryptocurrency in 2017, initial coin offerings, they would basically say, hey, we're about to drop this coin. You can buy it even though it has no value. We're promising we're going to do this, right? Now, that is also right now being regulated by the SEC, and it's classified as security. So you can't do that unless you get obviously permits for it. But the way they're getting past that is by, instead of just telling people to pay for it, they're giving it away for free. And this is what the governance token is. They're essentially providing it, they're giving it to liquidity providers and people that help the protocol. And they have value, but understand that these people are getting these tokens that are essentially a kind of like a credit. So there's essentially, DeFi could potentially have a credit bubble. And there's an incentive for these people to just dump these coins. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These coins weren't purchased because of the value of it. They were basically given because they were providing liquidity in most cases. And the fact that they just received this coin is most likely they're going to dump it. Just like the miners, the vast majority of them get the Bitcoin when they mine Bitcoin and they dump the Bitcoin. So just understand that, guys. That's the kind of risk we're taking in DeFi in general as a whole. Now, last thing I want to tell you guys, if you want to get into all these DeFi protocols, if you don't want to get into Uniswap and have to buy this, and that, and do this and understand that, there's an easier way you can do it. So DeFi Pulse Index, I mean, it's been out for a while now, but I think it's really interesting because what it is a basket of investments. So you can buy this DeFi Pulse Index, and let's see how it's been doing. You can buy this actual index. It's been going down ever since it came out. But if DeFi does well as a whole, basically, as you can see here, if any of these actual protocols do well or bad as a whole, then people can actually get the whole thing, right? It's basically like investing in a basket of investments. It's like one investment that reflects all these investments. So it's a lot safer. It's extremely safe. It's like a diversification. You're not going to see too much volatility with the DeFi Pulse Index. Now, I will say DeFi in general is super volatile. So you're going to still see some volatility, but it's going to be a lot less volatile than holding one of these coins. So this is a potential investment vehicle for some people that don't want to take on too much risk, but they like what DeFi is doing. They want to capitalize on that. This is definitely an option for you guys. But yeah, that's it. Top 3 coins. Run through it one more time. Yearn Finance. Because of the upside potential, the low supply, and the fact that they're so innovative. Aave, because they're pretty much solidified in the DeFi community, money-making market. They're able to adapt very fast, and basically they have a lot of money locked up in it. As well as Uniswap, the #1 decentralized exchange and the #1 DeFi protocol. And I don't believe any of these projects are going anywhere. So you can feel comfortable investing in these projects for the long term. Understand that these projects have susceptibility to smart contract risk. So basically they can get hacked. If they get hacked, the money could be taken, but understand they're also audited. They're audited by very smart people. So the very smart people have already looked at the code and made sure it was legit. So there's no vulnerability. So just understand that, guys. But that's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you guys on the other side or in the next video. Peace out.